Hough Hole House. Hough Hole House is a historic house to the northwest of the village of Rainow, Cheshire, England. It dates from about 1660 and was altered and extended in 1796. An engineering works was added in the 1850s and incorporated into the house during the 20th century. The house is recorded in the National Heritage List for England as a designated Grade Roman II listed building. In the 19th century, gardens were created that are based on John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress. These were designed by the owner, James Mellor, and are known as Mellor's Gardens. The gardens contain a number of listed buildings. History. The house was built about 1600. In 1796 it was acquired by James Mellor, who was building a cotton mill nearby, and alterations were made to the house at this time. It was altered again in the 1850s by Mellor's son, also called James, who built an adjacent engineering works powered by water from a mill pool. The house continued to be owned by the Mellor family into the 20th century, and in the 1920s it was rented to the Mrs. Russell sisters and schoolteachers, who later became the owners. In 1978, the house was bought by Gordon and Ruth Humphreys, who carried out a program of restoration and alterations, which included converting the adjacent works and incorporating it into the house. Architecture. Hough Hole House is constructed in coarse, buff sandstone rubble. It has a concrete tiled roof and 2 stone chimneys. The house is in 2 stories and has an asymmetrical 3-bay front. The windows are 20th century casements with stone lintels. There is a central doorway, above which is a date stone inscribed with GMM for James Mellor and the date 1796. Also at the front is a single-story conservatory. Inside the house are fireplaces dating from the 18th and 19th centuries. The house is designated as a Grade Roman II listed building. Associated features. The house is associated with gardens that were designed by James Mellor, Jr. and are known as Mellor's Gardens. They have a religious theme based on John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress. A pathway takes the visitor through and past features included in the book, ending in a 2-story building on a ridge representing the celestial city on Mount Zion. The gardens are designated a Grade Roman II in the Register of Historic Parks and Gardens. The gardens contain the following structures that are designated as Grade Roman II listed buildings. Mellor's private chapel dates from 1844, and attached to the chapel is a barn dating from the 17th century. To the north of the chapel is a sundial dating from about 1850. Also in the garden are 3 pedestal tombs of members of the Mellor family and James Walker. Notes and references. Note citation sources. Category: Country houses in Cheshire. Category: Grade Roman II listed houses. Category: Grade Roman II listed buildings in Cheshire.